like Charlie Kirk said himself, empathy is a killer. Because I remember when he was talking about empathy, when you feel empathy for criminals, that's what he meant. When the government feel empathy for criminals, feel empathy for those that are illegal and live a criminal illegal life in all forms of what you could be called a criminal. When you feel empathy for criminals, when the government feel empathy for criminals, that's when it becomes dangerous, because the crime rate is gonna keep going up. It don't matter what race you are. That's what Charlie Kirk meant. But in this case, the empathy is granted because this is a human being, this is a man, this is a father, this is a leader, this is someone that is bringing a productive conversation, even though it's a heavy conversation that a lot of people could disagree. And 9 times out of 10, the people that disagree with the type of conversations are criminals or people that play with genders, far as you know, man wanna be female, female wanna be man. They don't even know what they are. So those type of people, it seems there are those people that like to challenge and go against a healthy conversation. I hope that everyone around the world at some point understand that it don't matter which side you call yourself. You could be left, you could be right, you could be right down the middle. I really wish and hope that one day we could all agree in this one thing. We are all humans. Blood runs through your veins. You have a spirit. At some point, people need to start having empathy for the right things. So hopefully that way the world change one day. So after that monologue, after that introduction, yes, having a heart, having a heart, having family. It don't matter who you are. You deserve to die by natural causes whenever God call you the right way. You know what I mean? Good side and bad side. You pick and choose what you want to be in life. You want to be a good person, you want to be a bad person. That's what it's gonna be at the end of the day. Big shout out to Jamie, big shout out to Amy Conway. Great conversation we're having in this first part, introductory part, monologue part, updating part. Let me know if there's any questions out there that we need to answer, far as anything you could think of. Um, so I'll give you an update on that. But besides that, let's go back to the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Amy Conway said, like the red true crime background. Thank you, though. Very appreciated. Try to moving up in the world a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to all the content creators out there in the YouTube true crime community. All of y'all that have been putting the work, the dedication to the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. I took a little break. It was a lot of heavy stuff in the air. And plus I was working a lot in other very important projects. I'm having some conversations here locally. Don't want to say much, but I'm working on something locally here in my area that hopefully I could bring to y'all soon. taking steps to that. It'd be something very exciting. I don't know if y'all like the show Bad Boys. You know what I'm saying? The cops, bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the cop finds you? Da, da, da. You know what I mean? Let's see if we get to do something like that very soon. That'll be very exciting. That'll be something different. Working on that. Don't want to say much so I don't jinx it. But just so y'all know, we're working on a lot of beautiful things. So we're here to bring not just entertainment, but information for the true crime community. So going back to the Idaho for Bryan Kohberger case, the return of Jrod on point after the Charlie Kirk Memorial. So ladies and gentlemen, after great conversations that we had over there in Kathy in the zone, big shout out to her. I understood that yes, is very important that all content creators, again, it don't matter what side of the fence you are on, but it's good to not just talk about the Idaho folk, but it's always good to talk about those topics that you feel very interested to talk about. It's very important that we keep the conversation going. It's undeniable. Thank you, though. Appreciate. Thank you, Jane. So it's very important that we keep the conversation going, because in this one particular case, after the case being closed for a pretty long time by now, the stuff that is being coming out is still over sealed. Let me kindly say, yes, my biggest question, science don't lie. If DNA is inconclusive in the home, how they clear Jack? You see, yes, that right there is a very important question in this whole case. Let's bring it to a point of reality, right? If it became inconclusive the first time, the first try for Bryan Kohberger became inconclusive for Bryan Kohberger, and it came inconclusive for the other DNA in the house, but they knew there were male. And then now also on the Maddie's fingernails, it seems like it was DNA, it was skin cells DNA of a female. So we're talking about she had male and female DNA under her fingernails. Everything, every other DNA in that house was inconclusive to Bryan Kohberger. They try to compare the rest of DNA within the house to see if it matched Kohberger. They couldn't match it. Only whatever is talked about in the sheet. We're gonna get to the comments. My poor Kiely there. I don't, Kathleen